All right, what is up, everybody? Hope everyone's having a good day today. My name is Andrew Messia, and this is the Medellin Buzz. Hope everyone's having a good Saturday night. Let's go. I got my beer ready. I switched over from Friday mornings doing these lives to Saturday nights, so I could actually have a beer with you guys on Saturday evening. What's up, ABX girl? How's it going? Let me turn down the music, actually. All right, there it is. Okay, so been looking forward to this live stream, bro. Drinking a beer too. Let's go. What's up, Mr. 69 Way Better? What's up, Food Coma? Hey, what's up, Tom? How's it going? You could have a beer on Friday morning. No, I cannot have a beer on Friday morning. I'm still working. I still have a work day ahead of me, and I got new headphones, by the way. My other one's broke. These are good. Anyway, if you guys ever need like good. These are usually for gaming, but the cool thing is that they've got like a retractable mic. So if you just use them for music and for audio like I do, because I got my mic here, I retract it that way. They're called Steel Series. They're like $60. They're so good. They got really great reviews on Amazon. So anyway, yeah, hope everyone's having a great Saturday. I just cracked one open, guys. Drink a Corona. Corona, after all these years, Corona still hits the spot for me. I don't know. It's weird. What's up, DJ Muñeco? ¿Qué onda, pues? ¿Cómo vas? El compa DJ Muñeco. Yeah, so, my name is Andrew, guys. For those of you guys that don't know me, this is the Medellin Buzz. I go live every Saturday now. I started with Friday mornings, but that's not really optimal because I still have to work on Fridays. So Saturday evenings is a lot better. It's more fun, I think, this way. Today we're going to dive into a big topic, which I've been working on for the last 8 years in my life, which is called lifestyle design. I learned what lifestyle design was back in 2007 when I read the book, The 4-Hour Work Week by Tim Ferriss. And I always had it on my mind, but I never actively worked towards lifestyle design because I was broke. I thought in order to achieve like a lifestyle or to design a lifestyle, you have to have money. I always thought that, even though I read the book back in 2007, the whole point of the book and the whole point of that statement that Tim Ferriss makes in that book back in 2007 is that the people that need to design their lifestyle don't have money, that you need to start designing a lifestyle of happiness even before you get the money, because once you get the money, whatever it is that you have then is just going to amplify. So if you're unhappy, that's going to be amplified. If you're happy, that's going to amplify, and you're going to know how to get that happiness or how to become more happy as you start designing this stuff. So it's very, very important to me. It's an important topic, and I'm tying it into how Medellin has been able to facilitate that for me and all of the people that we've helped with the Medellin Masterclass over the last 2 months, not years. It feels like years, but it's only been 2 months since we launched it officially, and also how the city really lends itself to people that want to come down here, live a more fulfilling life, maybe save more money, maybe start a business, etc. So we'll go over lifestyle design here in a minute. What's up, Javier? ¿Qué más? I enjoy your content. I'm a new subscriber. What's up, Javier? Where are you from? Let us know. I'm in Medellin, Colombia. It is 6:04 p.m. here in Medellin, Colombia, and it's been a good day. It's been overcast, but no rain. It did rain yesterday. It's probably going to rain today. They killed a guy a block away from me at Dubai. If you type in Dubai Medellin, Club Dubai Medellin, there was a homicide last night. There's a video going around of him getting shot in the head. It was obviously a hit. In the video, you could see the guy just coming up and literally shooting the guy in the head as they're exiting the club at like 3 or 4 in the morning. When I went down to the gym in the morning, literally that whole area was closed off. Crazy. But it happens. It's Medellin. Wild, wild west sometimes. Why you tripping? What's good? The 4-Hour Work Week changed my life. Took me forever to implement it. Still working at it. Yeah, it's like they said, like Tim Ferriss says in the book, it's not something that you just implement once and your life is great. It's something that you work. It becomes part of your lifestyle, really. And we'll talk about that. What's up, Mr. Director JJM? Yeah, last night there was a homicide. I wasn't even out. I didn't go out last night. I woke up early this morning, went to the gym, got some work done, worked all day, played video games today with some of my friends that live in the United States, and that was super fun. One of them was live streaming, so we did that for a little bit. And now I am doing this. We're talking about lifestyle design in Medellin, Colombia. I'll get to the content first later because I will be recording that. Oh, I should be recording this. Why is there an input error? Okay, please check your streaming and recording settings. Okay, let me see. Hold on. There's an input error. Oh, maybe because I changed where I'm recording the video. Let me see. Output, recording. Yeah. Okay, well, it doesn't matter. I guess I could rip it. It's all good. Nothing good happens past midnight. Someone said exactly that. It was like 2 or 3 in the morning, and someone said nothing good ever happens at 2 or 3 in the morning. Javier Nelson, how good are Colombians in basketball? Are the local? At the local park, you have to go to you have to know when and where to go. So there's courts at La Unidad Deportiva de Belén in Belén. And on Monday nights, there's good runs. Also, there's internal groups. Once you get into that circle, if you are a really good basketball player and you play frequently, like I don't do it anymore because I'm 42 years old. Doesn't mean that I'm not going to do it. Once my hand heals, I'm going to get back into it. Hopefully, it doesn't affect my shooting. I was a pretty darn good shooter. I'm more of a elbow jumper type shooter for sure. But yeah, once you get in that circle, you start playing with some. I've played with some of the professionals that are literally professionals here when I was obviously in shape a couple years ago, and I was able to play with them. But yeah, the level is pretty good. I mean, I don't know. There's a couple professionals that have made big splashes in Europe. Angola being one of them. Tello Gutierrez being another. There's a few. Yeah, my knees, bro. I've been working on my knees. Yes, old knees. I've been working on my knees, on strengthening my knees. I follow a guy on Instagram called Knees Over Toes, and I do all the exercises literally almost every day. When I go to the gym, I work on strengthening my knees because I do want to get back on the court. My goal is to play until I'm 70, but I haven't played in like 2 years, so I don't know if that's going to happen. I just don't want to go back and get injured, so I need to strengthen everything. Yeah, lifestyle design. One of the things that I've discovered here in Medellin in my journey of living in Medellin for full time, but also in my journey as an entrepreneur, going from an employee to a freelancer to an actual entrepreneur that owns a couple businesses and has a few employees now, is this concept of lifestyle design. And I say concept because for me, it was always a concept. It was always something that was in the back of my mind that when I had enough money, I'm going to design an amazing life and I'm going to have an amazing routine. But the reality has been that I had to work at the lifestyle design in order to find the time and the money that I want. And now that I have those things working for me, I continue to work on lifestyle design in order to make more streams of income, work on the future of my investments and my future money and my retirement. It's something that's on my mind now and I'm actively working on. And on top of that, on more fulfilling and deeper things, because lifestyle design encompasses not only your daily routine and your happiness in your day-to-day, but it also encompasses how you feel inside as far as spiritually, and how rewarded you feel at the end of the day, at the end of the month, at the end of the year with what you've done. So it's something that I actively work on, and it's something that I want to share with you guys because it's been great, and I want to show you how Medellin has facilitated that for me because of the upsides of Medellin. For example, the cost of living. The cost of labor is low, right? Cost of living is low. The cost of labor is low here. The weather is amazing. The people are awesome. The culture is great. People are happy. People like to dance. People push me out of my comfort zone because that wasn't what I was naturally, to be honest. When I lived in the United States, I'm not a dancer. I'm not someone that I need like 12 of these to like really be out there. I need like at least 4 shots of tequila, or I should say. Now I could dance sober. But when I first got here, I needed like 4 shots of tequila and I'm on the dance floor dancing, not caring and dancing like nobody's looking. Now, after working on myself and working on my dance moves too, I feel way more happy and more motivated to actually go out and do something that I wasn't motivated to do before, that actually does make me happy. And I didn't know that it would make me happy because I thought it was kind of dumb. But now it's not, because I'm immersed in a culture that pushes you out of your comfort zone. If you don't like to dance, if you don't like to just sit down and drink coffee and talk shit with people, then Medellin will teach you how to do that. If you're not patient, Medellin will also teach you patience. AK, what's good, AK? Just got back from Arbi. What a trip up there. Yeah, Parque Arbi is nice. I love Parque Arbi. G. Nolan, what's good, Mr. G. Nolan? Hope you're having a good day today. Good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. I know daylight savings just happened a few days ago, and it is 6 p.m. here, so that means 6:11. So that means that we're on Eastern time zone now, because before we were on Central, because the time doesn't change here. I don't know why the U.S. still does that, by the way, the whole daylight savings. I know it was for farmers back like 100 years ago, but why are we implementing it now? Don't we have machines that do all that? All right, we're having Coronas, and I also have a Club Colombia on deck. I don't know if you can see that. They had like a special edition, Dorada. Dorada is not my favorite. My favorite one is the red ale they have, but Dorada, since it's a special edition, I got it. I don't keep beer in my house. I've had these beers in my house in my fridge for at least a month, because I don't drink at home. If I go, I always feel weird about drinking at home alone. So that's why I'm glad that I'm here with you, because I'm not drinking alone. Club Colombia Red is great. Yeah, I love Club Colombia Red. All right, so the term JJM Director says salsa dancing is one of the best ways to meet women, even if you're bad at it. Exactly. That is absolutely true. Even if you're bad at dancing, as long as you try, people will respect it. And, so here's one thing that I learned. When I was back in California, before I got deported and I got here, I don't know, life is weird. I had started going to salsa clubs because I didn't know how to salsa really. And I come from a Colombian family. I knew like the basic steps that like my cousins and my mom and my aunts taught me when I was a kid. But it's not like we were doing that all the time. So I knew some of it. But once I went to salsa, it wasn't even salsa lessons. It was the free ones. By the way, here's a free hack for you guys. I don't know if it still happens in the U.S., but a lot of like Latin, either restaurants, even Mexican restaurants, if you go online and you go salsa lessons or free salsa lessons in your area, if you live in a big city or near a bigger city, I guess. I lived in Orange County. There were a ton of them that started Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and sometimes even Saturday, where they do a free salsa class at 7 p.m. And then they would have music, whether it's a DJ or live music, like around 9. And when I would go there at 7 for the free salsa lesson, they're just basically teaching you the two basic steps, right? The one going forward and backwards and one going side to side, basically. It would be like 20 women and only 2 guys. And it was such a great way to meet women in the United States. It's awesome. And all of them wanted to dance with you because you're the only guy. It's like women dancing with women and then you dancing with a ton of other girls. That was a great hack back then. I don't know if it still works today, but I would look into that if I lived in the U.S. Javier, what's up, Morning Star? How's it going? Hola, me encontré tu canal hace unos días y me encanta. Vivo en Nueva York y considero mudarme a Colombia after 20 years, but I'm super scared. Wait, what are you scared of, Morning Star? Let us know. What is it that scares you about coming to? I mean, you want to move here. You said mudarme. Maybe move here scares you because of the economic situation, or what is it? Javier Nola says, filming in public in Medellin, can this lead to a fight or argument? No, not if you're in people's faces. People actually kind of like it when you're filming. People will like, hey, hi, whatever. I've never seen that. As it's opposed to the United States. People in the United States are entitled, and they think that you can't film them in public, and then they start getting mad because you're filming them. Granted that there are a lot of weirdos in the U.S., and there are a lot of weirdos here, I'm sure, but people don't really care. I've never seen a fight over that. ABX, what's good, ABX? DST was supposed to end, but it was forgotten in the House and Senate did not vote. JJM says 100% free lessons are a great way to get people in the floor. Yeah, that's true. Morning Star, oh, it's a big change. All I hear is bad news. Yes, well, here you'll only hear good news. Like there was a guy that got murdered, down the street from me last night. But That's not, that's not, I'm just kidding. That's terrible news. It happened. It was a hit that happened literally over here. It was not a random act, you can tell from the video. But what you're going to see on the news is you're going to see a ton of bad news all of the time. I watch the U.S. news from here. I hear about shootings, murders, the economy's dropping, people are going crazy in the United States. If I didn't know the United States or people in the United States, I'd be scared to go to the United States. Like people, no, there's no jobs, there's no money, the economy is crashing, the president sucks, all that. I hear all this stuff about the United States, but we know it's not that bad. It's the same thing here. Life is way different once you get here. Morningstar, I'm moving there permanently on the 29th. Just do it. Yeah, D Moscow. That's what we're talking about today. We're talking about lifestyle design and particularly designing a lifestyle of happiness in Medellin. I'm going to go over the cycle of lifestyle design that I've gone through for the last 8 years. And it's something that I continue to work on, and I'm working on it actively today. And you are part of it. Part of my lifestyle design, part of my happiness is creating this channel for for various reasons, of which I'll touch on as I'm going through this little checklist or the stages of lifestyle design and how Medellin has helped me come to a happier and more fulfilling life, I believe, and also how it can help you if that's really what you want to do. You're not helping the cause. Sorry, Morningstar. No, it's just literally like this hasn't happened in, the 13 years I've been here, I've only seen like one shooting in person. And I didn't see that one. I just saw it on the news this morning. It was I'm part of what do you call it? Denuncias Medellin group on WhatsApp. G Nolan, I moved here and I ain't going nowhere. ABX Girl, what's the best mall? Santa Fe Mall looks great. Yeah, the Santa Fe Mall is awesome. El Tesoro and Santa Fe are my two favorite malls. I love Santa Fe because it's just so big. But Envigado Mall is actually bigger. They have sand volleyball courts on the top roof, and it's open. It's open air. The top the floor, the fourth floor, they have two sand volleyball courts there. I've gone to play volleyball there multiple times. It's an amazing mall. Envigado Mall. It's called Viva Envigado. And that one is awesome too. But I like going to El Tesoro for the movies because I like the premiere experience where they have the big couches that recline. You're basically like laying in a bed, and the waitresses and waiters come to you and bring you food and drinks, and you can drink. They'll bring you beer. It's amazing. It's like, by the time you're done with the movie, you're hammered. No, they also have wine. It's like such a great experience, and it's like $10 US. It's insane. And they have real food. They don't have just like hot dogs and nachos. It's like actual real food and desserts. It's great. Okay, so let's get to this lifestyle design topic that we're talking about today. So like I said before, I learned about lifestyle design back in 2007 when I read The 4-Hour Workweek by Tim Ferriss. And he made that word, or I guess that phrase, lifestyle design, popular. Obviously, people knew about it before, but he made it popular in that book. And I read that book back in 2007. I didn't start on my lifestyle design journey up until 2016. And really, it hasn't really taken off until really when the pandemic hit. That's when I started to focus more and more on this lifestyle design and designing my happiness here in Colombia. So I'm going to go over the stages of the lifestyle design cycle, which you will work on for the rest of your life if that's what you want to do. I know it is for me. That's the case for me, and how Medellin has facilitated and how it can facilitate it for you because of the low cost of living, the low cost of labor, the high quality of life, and the general happiness around the culture and the people here. So let's get into it. So lifestyle design cycle. I've got my notes here. So there are basically 4 stages to lifestyle design. And there's a stage 0. So technically it's 5 stages, but there are 4 main stages that you'll cycle through. So the first stage is stage 0 of lifestyle design, and that's what I call the aha moment. Some people have different names for it. For example, in the 4-Hour Workweek, Mr. Fowler, who was interviewed for the 4-Hour Workweek, if you read that book, he calls it the Harajuku moment. Am I pronouncing that? I don't know. Harajuku moment. Obviously, it derives from a Japanese proverb. but it's like an aha moment. I read another book called The Unscripted by Mr. MJ DeMarco. MJ DeMarco calls it the fuck this event in your life, the FTE, the fuck this event. So everybody has an aha moment or a fuck this event where you're either frustrated with life, or you've had it up to here with your job, or you've had it up to here with the country that you live in, or it's an aha moment like you weren't frustrated and you weren't irritated, maybe just a little bit with the life that you're living in the country that you're in, but maybe you took a trip to Medellin. Maybe it was a birthday party. Maybe it was a bachelor party. Maybe you just discovered some videos on YouTube and you decided to come down here for a couple weeks or maybe a month. And once you got here, you had that aha moment where it's like, life could be so much better than what I'm leading in my country. And I want to, and I don't want to go there now. I need this in my life. I don't, it's not a dream. It's not a pipe dream. It's something that you need to make that change because you know you're going to be happier. So that's stage 0, is that aha moment. Have you guys had that aha moment? What was it? Was it when you got here to Medellin the first time and you're like, damn, this was what life can be like? Or was it just watching videos of other people that have had their life-changing events by coming down here? Or was it you just sick of the country that you're in and you're like, I got to get out of here. I've got to get away from the people, or maybe the dating scene in your country is not as great as it once was, or you're looking for something better and you know you can find it in Medellin. Have you had that aha moment or that fuck this event in your life where it's like, I need to make a change. I can't stay here anymore. For me, it was a little bit different because I was forced to come here. I was deported, so it was like I got a kick in the butt by getting deported from the United States and landing in Bogota in Colombia with no money and no connections, no friends, no family. I had some family that I never knew. Obviously, they're like strangers to me. But my aha moment came when I got to Medellin, because I was living in Bogota, and I came to Medellin and I felt how amazing, and I saw how amazing some of the expats that were already living here were living. And I was like, I need that in my life, and I need to figure out how to get it. And that was my Harajuku moment, or my aha, or the fuck this moment in my life, where it's like, I can't continue working a 9-to-5 job and having little side hustle. I need to focus on something bigger and better so that I can design a life of happiness here in Medellin. And that was my moment back in 2000, and it was like October of 2010. Yeah, the fuck this event. Yeah, the fuck this event. What is ABX Roll says? We have that in the U.S. $50 easy. Yeah, I've seen those too. Those malls. I mean, sorry, those premiere movie theaters. G Nolan says, yeah, $18 for popcorn and a Coke. Morningstar, what do you think about employment opportunities, especially for women? Especially for women. One of my biggest concerns, and I know this happens in Colombia for a fact, where women are discriminated based on looks and age. Yeah, if you're coming from the United States, don't come here looking for a job. You need to figure that part out before you get here. I always tell all of my friends, family, and the students for the Medellin Masterclass, well, most of everybody that has taken the Medellin Masterclass has that part figured out already. They know what they're doing for money, and they can come down here and live full-time and still make money from the United States. So my suggestion to you is not to come here with nothing. Focus your time and your energy in the United States to getting a job that you can do online. Literally, even if it's a job that pays $15 an hour, if you're making $15 an hour and working 40 hours a week, and at the end of the month, you're going to have a pretty good chunk of change, and it's going to be way more than what people make here in Colombia, and you will be able to live a pretty comfortable life here. Obviously, you want to make more than that, but even if it's just at least that, you don't have to worry about getting a job here locally. I wouldn't want to. I know I did it because when I got deported, the first thing I had to do was get a job, and I got a job at a call center in downtown Bogota, and I was making $4 an hour. And it sucked. You're getting yelled at by Americans because there was an English-speaking one in Bogota, and you're going home on the freaking Transmilenio making $4 an hour, going back to my cousin's house in northern Bogota and Suba, in the cold, getting wet. Oh man, it was miserable, but I was motivated, and I got out of that by finding work online. I got out of that, and I also became a teacher here because that's one of my passions. That's part of my life my lifestyle design choices is to become a teacher. I became a teacher and I was happy doing that, but I didn't make enough money. But that's why I made this YouTube channel, because in a sense, I'm teaching you. And it's my nature to teach. Since I was a child, I remember when I was a kid, my parents have pictures of me and memories of me literally lining up my sister's dolls and stuffed animals and giving them class. Whatever I learned in class that morning, that's what I would teach them. So it's like, you know what you want to be when you're a kid. But unfortunately, that doesn't pay as well as owning a digital marketing agency or having multiple properties and stuff like that. So, but I need that in my life. I need that sense of accomplishment and that reward of teaching someone and helping someone get somewhere. And that's why I created this channel, because it's and that's why I'm doing it on a Saturday night. Tonight's UFC, and we're gonna go watch the UFC later. But I much rather be talking to you and sharing the information and my journey with you guys for now. Why You Trippin' says, yes, I had the aha moment multiple times, but I'm due for another one. We have aha moments all the time. That's part of the lifestyle design cycle, is having those constant aha moments and pivoting your lifestyle design and your plan in order to tackle those moments and being like, oh man, I really love this. For example, I didn't know that I liked YouTube. I didn't start this YouTube channel. I didn't start my YouTube journey until I started streaming video games a year and a half ago or so. And I realized that I really liked having a channel. And then I didn't start this channel till 2 months ago, because I had a little aha moment streaming video games, and I'm like, man, I can share my life and my knowledge with people that want to come down here in Medellin. So I'm constantly going through that. It's insane. Yeah, Morningstar sounds great. Sounds fun. Yep. Yeah. Teaching English in Medellin was fun, but again, you're not going to get paid that much. You're going to get Colombian salaries or wages. Jaden, what's good? Jaden, I have $150,000. Oh, sorry, $150,000. I was going to say I have 1,500 USD passive income from my investments, but I'm still scared to leave my 6-figure job in tech to move to Medellin. Can't really work from abroad. Yeah, Jaden, that's a big issue with a lot of people. I've met so many people. I met a subscriber when I first started making videos just with AK. He had seen the videos on AK's channel and he recognized me at the bar. I hadn't started this channel, and we were sitting there and he's like, hey, you're on AK's channel. You're Andrew. And I'm like, yeah. He bought me a couple shots of tequila there, which were amazing. And he has a 6-figure job. He's a mortgage. He's not a mortgage broker. He's a broker in a big investment firm in New York. He makes more than 6 figures. He's in his 30s. And he said he would trade his 6-figure job just to make $90,000 a year and live in Colombia full time. That's literally what he told me. He's like, can you help me? I'm like, you can only help yourself there. You need to figure that out, because I'm not a career coach or a life coach. I can only tell you what I did. What I did was I found opportunities online that pay me 6 figures a year. And I've worked at that for the last 8-9 years now. I've had my digital marketing company. So, but I started from nothing. So you either will quit and downgrade, or you'll start working your side hustle as you're working your job to create this subsequent income that hopefully one day, if you work at hard enough, it will surpass or get close to what you're making at your job. Because it's not only, because I understand it's not only the money that you're scared of leaving, but it's the security, right? It's like, you know that every month you're going to get paid. When you're an entrepreneur, all my clients can leave me tomorrow. But it's happened before, and I've gotten up before, and I'm not scared of that anymore, because I've gone through it the last 13 years that I've been here. I've been an entrepreneur, I've been a freelancer, and now obviously I own a company that does search engine optimization. I've got properties here. I could lose all of that, but I know that tomorrow I will find something that will make me money, and eventually I'll get back to where I am. So I'm not scared of that anymore, because I have been at the bottom. But that's the problem, is leaving that security, that safety net, leaving the benefits, leaving the 401k. Not everybody does it. And but what's worse is the fear of not leaving worse than the fear of regret if you don't leave? That's what I always ask myself when I have a major decision, whether it's in a relationship with a woman or if it's in a decision, a life-changing decision. Is the decision not to do it, is that fear bigger than the feeling of resentment and the feeling of remorse years from now that I didn't do it? Bigger. What's bigger? And there I start weighing my options. If 10 years down the line you feel like, man, I'm still doing the same shit 10 years and I haven't done anything, I haven't discovered myself, I don't feel spiritually fulfilled, I'm not happy, I could have done this 10 years ago. Now it's 10 years later and you're older and now you really can't leave because you're really scared because you're getting older, closer to retirement age, where now you're handcuffed. What do they call that? The golden handcuffs? It's a tough one, man, but I hope you figure it out. And I hope that helps. Mr. J. Nolan, I have a lot of oh no moments. We all have that. Oh, man. I went through one recently, but I'll update that later. I'll update on that later. It was an oh no that turned into an oh yes kind. Oh, it did. ABX girl says, I have the WFH home. Okay, I wish I could go remote in Medellin and I will be paid in USD. Some firms do allow that as long as you're in the same time zone in on the East Coast. Yeah, so you're on the East Coast here. We're on the East Coast right now. My dream FBA, what's good? Hey, we're trying to adopt a Colombian and raise our future child there. Do you see that as a good idea? We're still in the search phase. I personally haven't gone through that, but having friends that have kids here and having raised them in the last 13 years, I've seen kids being raised here that are now 13 years old, 15 years old, have gone through the education system here. I say it's a good idea. Like if I have a kid here, when I have a kid here, because I'm putting that out there, when I have a kid here, I will raise him here through at least elementary school, maybe even high school, because I've seen the kids, the level of education, if you do have money, it's about tuition for a private school here, a really good one that's bilingual, that teaches them either German, French, or English. There's a full English school here that one of my friend's kids go to, and that kid is completely bilingual. I can talk to him in English about Fortnite. He's like 13 years old, and he and literally flawless English because his parents also speak English. But I speak to him in Spanish, flawless Spanish, because all his friends and his activities are in Spanish, but school is all in English. And that's about $3,000 to $5,000 per semester. So it's relatively cheap compared to private schools in the U.S., and they're good schools. And then when it comes to high school, it really depends. Like, for example, I think that my kid's going to be the next Michael Jordan, so I would send him to go play basketball in the States. But if that's not the case, then maybe somewhere else. And then university, they can go abroad if they want to. A lot of people do here. So yeah, raising a kid here, I think would be great. I think it would be fine, especially because your money does go longer here. It would be cheaper to raise a child here than in the United States or UK, Australia, etc. Allison says, hello from Medellin. What's up, Allison? How you doing? Jaden says what? Hold on. Sorry, I lost this thing. Jaden says, tienes razón. Gracias por el consejo, hermano. You're welcome, Jaden. De nada. Afri Origin, what's good, Afri? Did you hear about the murder in front of Dubai Club? Yeah, I was just talking about that. I live 2 blocks from here. I saw the police out there this morning, and I was wondering, what was it? It wasn't a tourist. You could see in the video. There's a video footage of the actual thing happening, and you could tell it was a hit. It was premeditated. It was a hit on somebody. According to chatter, like locals, he owed someone something. So I don't know. It could be gang related, drug related, whatever the case is. It's unfortunate. It happened like 2 blocks from me. But it is Medellin. Stephen Bradley, what's up, Steve? Steve Bradley is an alumni of the Medellin Masterclass, one of our first students, Stephen Bradley. Waiting for your arrival over here, Mr. Steve. How's it going? Steve's in Colorado, I believe. Yeah. Morning Star, speak it into existence. That's right. Speak it into existence. Thank you. I guess we're on the right path. Yes, I think you are. I think you're You're going to learn a lot to do this. I would love to hear that process, actually, my dream FBA. So if you do go through that, make sure to come back next Saturday or another Saturday. I'm going to go live every Saturday. Christian says, what is the average male height in Colombia? I know you're a giant. Christian, I'm 6'3", but the average, let's look it up real quick. Average male height. Why can't I spell height? In Colombia. 4'6". No, I'm just kidding. It's 5'7", bro. 5'7" for guys. So yeah, that's the average height. 5'7", but surprisingly enough, you see a lot of tall people here, like tall Colombians. Stephen Bradley, that's true. Love the class. Oh, you're in Virginia. Why do I keep thinking Colorado? You're in Virginia. That's right. Well, big ups to Virginia out there. All right, so we're talking about lifestyle design. So the first stage to the lifestyle design is stage 0, is that aha moment where you figure out that you want to not only want to live in Medellin, but you need to live in Medellin because it's going to be better for your mental health. The cost of living is going to be lower, so you're going to be able to stretch your budget even more, maybe even save money. You come to the realization that living in Medellin is what you need in your life, whether it's 6 months a year, 3 months a year, or long term. And that comes into stage number 1 of the lifestyle design cycle. So stage 1, so stage 0 is the aha moment. Stage 1 is the defining stage, where you define what it is that you want from this need that you have of living in Medellin. So what does that entail when living in Medellin? Before you start designing your dream lifestyle in Medellin, you need to define it exactly. So do you want to make the move indefinitely? Do you want to live here for years? Do you want to live here for 1 year? Do you want to live here part-time, 6 months a year, 3 months a year? You have to define that. You can't just come here and be like, oh, I'm just going to figure it out. I mean, you can, but that's not a very happy process. I know, because I was forced into that when I got deported here. I had no plan. I was just like, I got a job at a call center, then became a teacher, then started doing work online, and then started a digital marketing company. And that came through 13 years of work. And, at times I was completely broke, roommating with people in not desirable areas, and eating sardines out of a can, literally. So you don't want to go through that. I think the best way to do this is to actually define what it is that you want out of Medellin. Do you want to live here part-time or full-time? What neighborhood do you want to live in? And this goes with what you want to design your lifestyle to be like. Do you like nature? You might not want to live in the city. You might want to live like in Envigado or even Sabaneta, somewhere closer to natural. You're surrounded by nature here in Medellin, but the fact of the matter is that Medellin is more dense with people. It's more densely populated. There's more streets. There's more noise. There's more pollution, noise pollution and air pollution in Medellin than that of the adjacent cities like Envigado or Sabaneta, even Itagüí in some parts. So you really got to make that decision. You've got to define that, right? What is it that would make me happy? Would I be happy living? Some people, for example, we had a student that he wanted to live in a high-rise penthouse with rooftop pool, sauna, and he has the budget for that, and that's what will make him happy. So that's what he found. Other people like a simpler life. Some people want to live in the country. So what is it that you want out of Medellin? Start defining that. You can start doing that now before you even get here. That's the fact of that matter, is that you've got to define it. If you're for this lifestyle design cycle, which you're going to go through a lot in life, and I have, and I'm currently going through it as we speak. You've got to define what it is that you want, what neighborhood to live in. If you want to live a more simpler life in a lower income neighborhood like a Strato 4, like in Laureles or Belén, because you really want to immerse yourself with the culture, then you've got to look for those neighborhoods, because Laureles and Belén are not the only neighborhoods where you could do that in, that are safe and that have nice buildings. Even in downtown, you'll find nice buildings in a safe, a secure, gated area. Obviously, you don't want to be walking around there at like 1 a.m, but I lived in downtown for a year and a half and I loved it. So it just really depends on what is going to make you happy. So you have to define that. On top of that, you're going to have to define your budget. What is your budget for your happiness here in Medellin, right? And that is going to also define what neighborhood you're going to live in, what type of amenities the building you're going to live in. All of that is going to play a part of your budget and what your happiness, how close to happiness you're going to be, right? Another thing that you want to start figuring out before you even get to Colombia, if you are planning to make that move and you're not Colombian, is your visa process. Like, what type of visa are you going after? And you've got to make sure that you learn this, because not all visas are the same. Not all visas, for example, let's say that you want to become an actual resident of Colombia. If you get the digital nomad visa, that doesn't help you in your quest to becoming a resident in Colombia. Digital nomad visa is kind of like an anomaly. It's a visa on its own. So you really want to understand that and really make a decision, be like, okay, I want to get the student visa for at least 6 months. Or, yeah, I have enough money to buy a property, so I want to be a property owner, get the property owner visa. Or I want to invest into a company because I have some money to invest into a company in Colombia, and I want the investor visa. So there are different type of visas. Or maybe you just want to get married to the Colombian and get the marriage visa, right? There are different types of visas in Colombia that you need to be aware of. And that's what we go through in the Medellin Masterclass with our students. It's one of the bigger modules with the visa attorneys, to help them understand and plan for what type of visa they're going to be getting down here. Let's go to some comments. CBL Daddy, what's up? I truly think I can work out 6 months in Colombia and 6 months working hard in the U.S. If you can make $30K in 6 months, you can live half of the year in Colombia. That's my plan. That's a great plan, CBL Daddy. That's a great start, man. Shoot, I'm sure it'll evolve from there. Beast LFC, what's good? He says, hola, can you go into a bit more details of your digital marketing company? Are your clients based in the U.S. or in Colombia, or both? Only in the United States, and we only do digital marketing for drug and alcohol rehab centers and mental health facilities in the United States. I've found in life that once you go in one path and you niche down, and you get really good at one thing, or that one, I guess, lane, you don't stray from the lane, you make more money. It's kind of like, you can be in the NBA if you hit 7 out of 10 3-point shots, you'll be a multimillionaire. If you hit the ball in baseball 3 or 4 times out of the 10, you're basically a millionaire in baseball. It's if you just focus on one thing and stay in one lane. That's what happened, and that was the lane that I was kind of fortunate to get into back like 8 years ago, and I just stuck with it. Christian says, how much did that penthouse with the pool and sauna cost? It was furnished. I don't remember exact numbers, but it was about $2,000 per month, because it's furnished, and it's like a 6-month thing. It's not a yearly thing, I believe. Closer to $2,000, probably less, but I don't know the exact number off the top of my head. G. Nolan, yep, if you can see it and you can believe it, you can achieve it. That's true. See it, believe it, achieve it. I like that. Origin, Afri Origin says, is it only the apartments that are becoming more expensive, or do you think that other things will also become more expensive in the near future, such as food and general cost of living? Well, right after the pandemic, all food and everything, because of inflation, went up almost 50%. So it's not a tourist thing like a lot of people were saying. It's inflation, and it's not only apartments that have gone up, but general things have gone up. But it's still cheap if you're making dollars. I mean, it's still, with $50, you can almost do grocery. I can almost do groceries for myself for at least 2 weeks. I can say that safely. At least 2 weeks with $50, I'm good. I get my essentials and things that I need, like grocery, like food, with $50. With $100 or $150, I'm living like a king on food for the whole month, really. Hey, CBL Daddy, thank you so much for the donation. By the way, 100% of the proceeds that I get from donations or super chats or memberships on this channel are going to go to Help Colombia. You can check helpcolombianow.com. It's a nonprofit organization that helps kids and poor families here in Colombia. This year, we're trying to get, we do English classes for kids in Moravia, which if you don't know what Moravia is, just Google Moravia, Medellin, and you'll see what a third world country looks like. That literally, it's like 20 minutes north of me. And that's where they live. And we do English classes for them every Saturday. And we've got 40 students. So my plan is to get them all shoes, but it's not like shoes from El Hueco or from the El Centro from downtown, like those knockoff ones. Although you can get really good knockoffs here, I'm going to get them really good shoes. And I'm asking for sizes and their favorite colors because I want to like make sure that it's something that they like and they're going to wear until they grow out of them. And they've got to be good because they're all going to be handed down. That's what poor people do, right? Your name? My name is Julissa. Okay. What are good areas to look for modern apartments in Medellin? We have $2,000 budget for housing. Shit, look in El Poblado, El Poblado. But it really depends on what your lifestyle is like. If you don't like living in the hills because you like to walk everywhere, maybe El Poblado might not be for you, especially like parts of El Poblado. But I do have a video where I do a virtual tour of all of El Poblado. I'll put the link here. That's for the recorded version, by the way. I'm getting a new editor by the time. Well, by the way, this is all lifestyle design. Anyway, for my editor, the link is up there to that video. Yeah, so I go through a virtual tour of all of El Poblado because all of El Poblado is pretty big. There's a lot of little neighborhoods within it. So you definitely want to check that out and check out Laureles. Go to AK's channel. He's got a couple videos on talking about Laureles as well. Buddha, what's good, Buddha? Does the zone get flooded by knucklehead gringos seasonally thinking OTC, October, March? Or is it pretty steady? It's pretty steady, but I mean, the tourist area is like 8-block radius out of all of Medellin. And Medellin's pretty darn big. So if you're in that 8-block radius, you're going to see gringos and expats. But if you're not, you probably won't even speak English all of the time at all, really. In Colombia, no one speaks English. Very little amount of people speak English here. So no, it doesn't get overcrowded. Hey, Mr. Sam Aconda, what's good? Sam Aconda, ¿cómo estás? Good evening, bro. You're the first member to the channel, by the way, Sam Aconda. First and only member. Guys, if you want to become a member of the channel, all of those donations go towards Help Colombia. Just click the Join Now button, which is below if you're watching on a PC or laptop or tablet. Hey, Mr. D Moscow, what's good? D Moscow, thank you so much for the $9.99 for Help Colombia. Thank you. Yes, that will go 100% to all of the 40 shoes that we're trying to buy these kids. Or we will buy these kids for Christmas and hopefully school supplies and toys. We're gonna get them everything, man. We always make sure that Christmas is good for them. Morningstar, what type of business do you think Colombia doesn't have or you wish they had? I wish Amazon was here so that I could get 24-hour shipping. Literally, if Amazon were here, it would change everyone's life. We have to wait 10 days for Amazon stuff to get here. But if there was an actual Amazon warehouse here, man, that would be amazing. That would make a killing. That would make a killing. I agree with you. That concerns us as well. Way too high. Yeah. My dream FBA. Yeah. Let's celebrate their first super on live stream. Oh, that's the thing here. Slice OG. Oh, Slice OG is the new editor. What's up, Slice OG? So Slice OG is in the Philippines, and he's my new editor. We're gonna try him out. Slice OG. I believe in Slice OG. He's a great editor, and he's gonna edit this video to make the lifestyle design video that's gonna go on the channel. Instead of me editing, because I've been editing this whole time, but I wanted to learn, so now I can boss Slice OG around. I'm just kidding, Slice. You know what you're doing. Nikos, what's up? Well, Nachos, what's up? I'll be in Medellin next weekend for for at least a month. What is the best way to get cell service out there? Go to any little store that you see the Claro or Tigo logo and ask for a SIM card. Make sure that your phone is open to putting any SIM card in it. If you've got an iPhone, you're going to have to go to the place where you bought the phone to open up the phone. That's what I had to do. I've got an iPhone 14. The person that bought it for me and brought it to me, at the store, they told them this is going international, so make sure that it's open to put any SIM card in there. Morningstar, thank you so much for the $9.99 dono. I really appreciate it. Let's go. W. Video editor, try it out. Yeah, that's right. Slice OG up in the Philippines. Does Medellin, Colombia have something like a Costco? Yeah, it's called Price Smart. Morningstar, I would love to start a nonprofit in Colombia. Yeah, I started by volunteering. I started by going because I love volunteering. I love working with kids, and I would go volunteering to the orphanages and stuff. And now we have our own nonprofit organization. We work with orphanages and the low income neighborhood of Moravia and El Botadero in Los Altos de Belén. All right, so we're talking about lifestyle design. So the first stage is stage 0, which is the aha moment or the fuck this event in your life where where you know you need to go to Medellin and live there, whether it's part-time or full-time, you know you need to get out there. Stage 2 is the defining moment where you define what it is that you want out of Medellin, what neighborhood you're going to live in, what are the events that you're going to be taking part of, what is the community that you're going to want to build, the type of friends that you want to meet out there. All of that can be done from your country. You don't have to be here to do that. Obviously, it's easier because you can meet up with people when you're here, but it's better if you get started when you're outside of the country. Start making connections, whether it's joining the Medellin Masterclass with us and joining our group, or just going to mdecommunity.com and going to all those WhatsApp groups, or going to Facebook groups to join entrepreneurs if you're an entrepreneur, a digital nomad group if you're a digital nomad, a mom group if you're a mom, because there's all of that here. You'll find all of those groups. Back in 2010, when I first got here, that didn't exist. We had Poor But Happy, and that had shut down just then. So there was really nothing. There was Lonely Planet, but there wasn't really any groups. Now you guys have it easy to actually start defining your dream lifestyle in Medellin before you even get here. Start writing it down. If it's not written down, it doesn't get done. That's what a mentor of mine said. Defining what type of visa you're going to get, defining the neighborhood you're going to live in, the things that you would like to learn here. A lot of people come here, and because the cost of living and cost of labor is low, people start taking classes. Like, for example, AK takes singing classes. I've taken guitar classes here. I've taken swim classes to swim. Although I grew up swimming and surfing in Southern California, I never took like actual swim lessons where you actually swim like, for competition. I took that in the stadium. It was like $8. You could do all of that, but you could start defining that before you even get here. So that's stage number 1. Hey, my dream FBA, thank you for the $5 dono. Appreciate it, my guy. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Paul Ashwell says, hola, can I join the mom group? Paul Ashwell is a friend of mine who comes down here very frequently. We always meet up for coffee. We've played chess once. We got to get back on that. So stage 2 of the cycle of lifestyle design. Stage 2 of the life cycle design is the stage that is called explore. And this is where you start exploring the path that you're going to take. So we mentioned in stage 1 that this is where you define what it is that you want to do. You're writing things down. You're maybe doing some research, but this is where you're really exploring and actually joining the groups, actually making connections out here. One of the ways that I always tell people that want to come live here in Colombia, but they're just not ready, or they're not ready to take the Medellin Masterclass per se, although it's a lifetime thing. Like, if you buy it now, you're going to be able to take it whenever you want, but they're just not ready or not financially ready, whatever the case is. I tell them, well, the best way to get your pinky in the door in Colombia is I ask them, how's your Spanish? Well, I need work on it. That's my plan. When I get there, I'm going to take classes. I'm like, why don't you just hire a Colombian teacher that is in Medellin to do Zoom calls with you and do classes over Zoom at least once a week? And now you have your pinky in the door of Medellin. You have a Medellin connection. Psychologically, that's huge. Not only are you working on your Spanish, but psychologically, you're one step closer to being in Medellin, because every week, at least one time a week, you're talking with someone in Spanish, learning about the culture with them, taking lessons from them, learning about them and their life while you are learning Spanish, while you're living in another country, and it gets you closer to that dream of living here full time. I always tell people, and it's cheap to get those classes. Just go on Facebook. You could even Google Medellin English classes online, and you'll find companies that do it, like Elefun, Blink Spanish. There's a few that have that. You might pay a little more there, but it's still cheaper than what you'll get in the U.S. Or you can go into Facebook and search in the groups for Spanish tutor or Spanish teacher, And then you contact that person personally and say, hey, how much do you charge per hour for a class, weekly or monthly or whatever? You could easily get that done, and you have this connection. So that's the explore part of the lifestyle design. I go through this lifestyle design cycle with everything that I do in my life, whether it's a business that I'm starting, a channel like this that I've started, or a life-changing decision like getting into a serious relationship. I go through this lifestyle design because I want to be happy. And a lot of people say you have to have a good balance in life. And I say, no, I don't have a good balance in life. My happiness outweighs my sad and bad moments in Colombia by 90%. I can confidently say that I'm 90% of the time in Colombia, I am happy. I wasn't happy when I broke my hand. That's one of the 10% parts. But for the most part, the majority of my life in Colombia for the last 13 years, the balance has tipped way more on happiness than sadness or struggle. So I don't have a balance. I'm unbalancedly happy, and I continue to do so because I work on this lifestyle design cycle that I'm going through. Cycle of the lifestyle design. 0 is that aha moment when you realize you need to make a change. Stage 1 is defining what it is that you need in your life and want in your life. Number 2 is exploring the path, following people that have done it, whether it's watching this channel or other people's channels on YouTube, making connections, taking advice from people. But very importantly, make sure that you are very aware of who you're taking advice from, and make sure that that person is on the path that you want to be on, or has achieved things that you want to achieve, because it's really easy to get distracted by, someone showing tits and ass on a Facebook or post or on a YouTube channel or YouTube video and being like, man, that looks amazing. I want to do that. But then you realize that that's not life here. That's just a YouTube video that wants 1 million views so that they can make their, $200 a month on that video. Those are the facts. So you want to be careful of who you take advice from and who you're following on your journey to designing your lifestyle in Medellin. Steve says, the Medellin Masterclass is so worth the money and time. Absolutely the best. Thanks to you and AK for all your time putting that together and growing it. Such an amazing group of people already. I know. I can't wait till you get down here. We do a monthly meeting with everybody, all of the alumni or all the people taking the course and that have finished it. We meet up monthly and we do something. So this month we went to dinner at Ato Viejo. Next month we're going to go to a soccer match all together. So for some people it'll be their first Nacional game, which will be amazing. Hopefully it'll be a Clásico. I don't think there's a Clásico next month, but we'll go to a soccer match. Chris Gant, what's up? Italki is great. Yes, Italki is one of those platforms online where you can find an online tutor, wherever you are in the world, from Medellin to teach you Spanish. That's great. Origin says, you always try to keep your content clean with valuable information. Really appreciate that. Origin, yeah, this channel is for me. I mean, as much as I want to give you guys a lot of information and a lot of, and hype up my city and also try to attract valuable people to my city that will make a change in other people's lives here, as much as I want that to happen, primarily, this channel is for me. As you notice, everything that I talk about, I'm going through in life. For example, today we're talking about designing an amazing lifestyle in Colombia and in Medellin, and it's literally what I do here. This is what I do, and I make these videos because in order to do this, I had to put all my notes in Notion, which I've never done this step-by-step of the life cycle design. I've got my notes and stuff of my life, what I want in my life, but I've never gone through this. And you know what they say about teaching? When you teach someone, you actually learn more than when you're actually learning. So when you're teaching someone or showing someone something, you actually become more proficient at it. So that's why I love doing this. And I really want this to be valuable, not only for you guys, but for me as well. So stage 2, exploring. Make sure that you're exploring and you're actually start working on the things that you've defined that you want in Medellin. And you could do that outside of Medellin before you even get here. And I suggest you do that, because if you don't, you might hit the ground running over here. And a lot of people get distracted. I've seen this more times than not, where people come down here with the idea of living here long term, designing a lifestyle where they're going to be working part-time, and because maybe they have a side hustle, but they don't have to work on their regular job because they have 3 months off. I see this a lot with people that have like offshore type jobs, for example, working on an oil rig, or a fisherman, or whatever. They come down here and they're like, it's a vacation for like 3 months for them, and they don't do anything. And by the end of their stay here, their 3 months, they're like ready to get on that boat because they've done too many drugs, alcohol, partied too hard, spent all their money, and they need to go make money, and they need to get back on that ship to get healthy and to get more money. So you don't want that to happen to you. You want to plan this before you get down here so that you actually have an actionable plan to start living a happy life. And I know planning isn't fun, but it's something that you should do even at the most rudimentary level. So that's stage number 2, which is explore. Let me get to some of these comments here. Making the leap on January 21st. Let's go, James Yen. How's it going? CBL Daddy says, Stephen Bradley, but only if you're planning a full-time move to Colombia. I will purchase the class when I'm ready to. No, this is for example, I don't think Steve is going to Steve is going to be living here indefinitely, but pretty much all of the students, barring 2, are not here full-time. They're here part-time. So the Medellin Masterclass is not for full-time people only. It's for anybody that wants to come down here and establish some sort of life, whether it's part-time, full-time. It's lifetime access, so no matter when you get it, you can access it at any time later. My dream FBA, how are Colombians with the LGBT community? They're pretty great as far as I've experienced. I don't have a personal connection. My deepest personal connection to the LGBT community is a friend of mine who owns the company out in Colombia. Check him out, Sam Holdren. He was on the Colombia podcast when I was doing that with Joel, and Sam is an amazing guy, and he can give you more insight. So Google out in Colombia, Sam Holdren. He's an American that came down here, established a life, and started a business helping people in the LGBTQ plus community come down and establish a life here. And he's also a tour guide here for people that are here just for tourism in that community. So check that out. He has a lot of insight. We used to work out at the same office because we shared office space with his company. So yeah, he's an awesome guy. Sam he cracks me up. He's so funny. Steve Bradley, CBL Daddy, even prior to that, if you're on the trip point to trying to decide. Yeah, exactly. Paul Asherell, my opinion, observations, Medellin is very open to LGBTQ. Thanks, Paul. Buddha says, so much of the video content of Medellin is prostitute tours. I found you, Andrew, when I was first looking to move. I thought you were going to say I found you, Andrew, when I was looking for prostitute videos. Sometimes I'm a prostitute. Only on Saturday nights, baby. I was looking to move to Colombia and found an article about your nonprofit. Really? That makes you compelling. Oh, I appreciate that. I wonder what article that is. CBL Daddy says, Steve, I agree. Andrew and AKR are my favorite duo on YouTube. I honestly feel a connection with them. As I mentioned earlier in the chat, I will start with 6 months. Yeah, that's a good idea. Starting with 6 months is a good idea in Colombia. I mean, starting with a month is even a good idea to get really a good feel. Let's take a drink of my Corona. Happy Saturday. I like Coronas. I don't know, man. I like the Colombian beers too. This is a Club Colombia Dorada. I think Club Colombia Roja is my favorite, but my favorite Colombian beer that you can find at any grocery store is called Tres Cordilleras, which is a mestiza. And then there's a lot of microbrews that I also like. I'm not a huge beer drinker. These are literally the only 2 beers that I've had in my fridge for like a month now. But anyway, okay, so we're going through the lifestyle design cycle. I'll recap what we've gone through. So stage 0 is your aha moment or your what the fuck moment or fuck this moment where you need to get out of the country that you're in and live in Colombia, even if it's for a month to 3 months, 6 months out of the year, or indefinitely. Where it's like, I know that living there will make me happier, so I need to figure this out. That's your aha moment, stage 0. Stage 1 is where you define what it is that you want out of Medellin. What kind of lifestyle do you want? Do you like to be by nature? Do you want to learn more Spanish? Do you want to learn how to dance salsa and bachata? Do you want to make friends that are entrepreneurs? You start defining that. And stage 2 is the exploration stage, where you actually start exploring the path, where you start listening to people, taking advice from people, taking some action where you're either hiring a local here to help you with your Spanish, or joining groups and making connections even while you're away from Colombia in your country. That's the exploration stage, which is stage 2. Stage 3 is where you decide and take action. This is the stage that is the hardest for a lot of people, where they're like, they leave their country and their friends behind, and they come down here for 3 months, 6 months, a year to give this lifestyle a go. And this is where you start putting the gears in motion when you're down here. Really, it's the only way. You can watch all of the YouTube videos in the world. You can take all the master classes in the world about Medellin, but nothing is going to beat you actually being here. And it's so much better when you actually prepare and go through the first stages of defining and discovering and exploring than just getting here. I know, because I went through that. When I was deported, I was thrown into Medellin. I was thrown into Colombia. I was thrown into Bogota. That's where the plane dropped me off. And I had to discover all this over the last 13 years. And now realizing that there's so many people that want to come down here and live, that's why I'm creating this channel and why we've created the Medellin Masterclass. And stage 3 goes through taking that action and actually being here. And no one can do that but yourself. No, and maybe some people can motivate you. Hopefully I motivate you, and the videos you see about the country and about the city will motivate you to come down here and explore it and really make that trip. But really, it just comes down to you making it happen. And that's stage 3 of this cycle of lifestyle design. And this can apply to anything in your life. I'm applying it to people moving to Medellin, but I use this lifestyle design cycle every day with everything that I do in my life, with one thing in mind at all times: is my happiness, my fulfillment in life, and my effect on the world. Even if it's just a little bit of an effect that I have on other people in a positive way, that's what I want in my life, and that's what makes me happy. So you got to take action. You've got to dive in. And then finally, stage 4 is where you reflect on the things. Once you're down here and you're doing what you have planned out and what you set out to do, you start reflecting on it, and you will come to those oh no moments that you mentioned earlier, Jaden, or the another aha moment where it's like, oh, I thought I liked Laureles, but I like to do other things. I like to hike more, so I want to go to Envigado. So then you start the lifestyle design process on moving to Envigado. So it never stops. You will always have aha moments. You will always have oh no moments, and you will always have that stage 1, stage 2, stage 3, and then stage 4 of the life cycle design, where you start from the beginning to design happiness in your life. And stage 4 is where you reflect on that and you take inventory on the things that you've done and what you feel. And really, it comes down to what you feel. How happy do you feel, and how fulfilled do you feel in life? And that's how I gauge my happiness and my comfort. Like, how fulfilled am I? If I'm not happy and I'm not fulfilled, I need to find that. And I constantly do it with business projects, with the groups that I'm in, the things that I do online, the things that I do outside in my life. I always have that in mind. So I highly recommend that you go through this lifestyle design process in your life, whatever it is that you're doing, especially if you're making a huge move like moving to Medellin, even if it's part-time. Buddha said, I tried to navigate back to the article, but didn't have enough breadcrumbs. Oh, breadcrumbs. Oh, yeah, you couldn't find it. Francisco, what's up? Police pulled me over on the road toward the tunnel airport, and they said, have you been to La Isla? What? Well, that's a common question. Jay, Sewell. Is it Sewell? I had a friend named Stillwell. No, James Sewell. I'm moving to Colombia next month, but not to Medellin. Nice. That I'm sure you'll enjoy it. Maybe. It depends. If you don't like small towns and you're going to a small town, a lot of people don't like that, and they seek a bigger town, or vice versa. Marcus on YouTube, what's good? I've been in phase 3 since March of this year. Taking the action, yeah. Well, hopefully you're reflecting on it now. Francisco, at least a month is worth considering to experience what can be done to live in Medellin. Yeah, I always tell people you need at least a month in Medellin to really do a lot of the things that the city offers and really get into some sort of routine. Like start designing your or implementing this design that you have in your head or that you've planned out and see it come to fruition, because a month is not even that much. Marcus, I mean, I've been debating on taking that leap on stage 3. Oh, you're stuck before the stage 3, taking action. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. Not everybody can do it. But that's why we created the Medellin Masterclass, to help people move along and make their transition easier. Oh, and by the way, you guys can download the free Moving the Medellin Masterclass checklist. It's a checklist of things that you can do before getting to Medellin. It's 120 rows of information. It's an Excel spreadsheet. It's a free download. It's in the description below or in the pinned comment right there. It's called the MedellinMasterclass.com/checklist. We put 100 hours of work into that so far, and we keep evolving it. So it's a spreadsheet that lives on Google Docs, but we go in there constantly to add things that our students mention. They're like, oh, what about this? And we're like, oh, shoot, we should add that to the checklist. So it's a giant checklist that will help you along your way, hopefully, and maybe motivate you to make that move as well. And it's free. Morningstar, you're the most relatable expat. Your history is remarkable. Oh, thank you, Morningstar. I get more relatable the more I drink, by the way. I'm just kidding. I'm just getting my how they say here in Colombia, calentando motores. I'm getting the engine warm because I'm going to go watch the UFC fights tonight, which I think already started prelims, but main event's not till 10. Muy buenas, Andres. How are you? Hey, what's up, George? Hope you're having a good day, George. Buenas, buenas. My dream FBA. How do folks move to Colombia? Do people visit a few times like it and just sell everything and leave? That sounds so scary. It's not, I can relate to being scary. Yeah. But a lot of people, for example, like Steve, who was just in here, he's a student, one of the first students of the Medellin Masterclass. A lot of people will bring a lot of stuff with them. They have like a freight company that will bring stuff over, like their furniture and stuff down here. Or a lot of people, like you said, will sell everything and come down here. But it's people that have been here before, have been here, let's say, a month, 3 months, 6 months before, renting furnished apartments. And they're like, yeah, I need to live in Medellin because I want to raise a kid, or because I want to not only raise a kid, but also run my company from there that makes dollars, because my budget will be bigger in the United States, bigger than in the United States in Colombia, because the cost of living is lower here. The cost of labor is lower here. I see all of those situations all of the time here. So that makes it easier for people to make that jump. When it comes to budget and cost of living, people are quicker to pull the trigger. When they realize that with a $5,000 a month budget for living, they can live like royalty here, because their rent will be like $1,000 or less for a long-term unfurnished apartment going through the local route, where their food budget a month is $200 maybe. You could go to the Price Mart here for $200. You could do a lot of groceries, or even downtown to the open markets, where entertainment budget is probably, for me, my entertainment budget for a long time was the biggest expense I had in life, because I'd go out and buy a bottle or whatever, wherever I'm at. So yeah, the cost of living makes it a big motivating factor for people to make that jump. James, what's up, James Jones with the, oh no, let's go, the $20 donation. By the way, James, if you missed it, that $20, 100% of that will go to helpcolombianow.com to buy the kids, 40 children, shoes for Christmas, and to go towards their neighborhood Christmas party, where we bring in Santa, bring in other gifts and stuff for the rest of the kids in that community, which has about 1,000 households, by the way. And on top of that, we're doing events at Help Colombia is doing events at orphanages around the city as well. So all of that will go towards that. I really appreciate it. James Jones says, here is 15 for kids shoes fun, 5 for the polo. La Pola. We need to make a beer fund. You know how people on Patreon have like buy me a coffee? Just buy me a drink. Don't even join the masterclass. Just buy me a drink. I'll tell you everything. I'm just kidding. Yeah, Steve was the first student to sign up. That's right, Steve. He's monumental. George says, do you think as native Spanish speaker transition to Colombia might be easier? Yes, absolutely. If you speak Spanish, your transition to Colombia is 100% better than someone that speaks no Spanish. That's for sure, because nobody speaks English here. Like less than 4% of all of Colombia's population speaks English, even though they teach English. Like the English that they teach in school here, like in high school and in elementary school, is the equivalent of Spanish that is taught in high school. If you're a native English speaker and you went to a high school and you had like 2 years of Spanish, you probably don't know anything at this point in time, because it's the same way here. They just go through it and they never learn anything and nobody speaks it. Hey, Mr. Paul Ashwell with the $20 dono. Let's go. All going towards Help Colombia. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate you, man. D Moscow says, I'm selling everything now. Bought my place last year. Congratulations, Moscow. Let's have a welcoming party at your house. Chris Gant says, I can confirm. I've been there a few times and I'm just about finished selling all of my stuff now. Moving there in January, February. No way. Chris Gant. You sound very familiar. Have we met in person? Morning Star. Here I'm spending like $600 a month, $600 in groceries alone for me and my daughter. It's crazy. Yeah, that is very, very expensive. Insane. Oh my God. Kickstarter. What is this? $99 $100 donation from Kickstarter going to helpcolombianow.com for the kids' shoes in December for Christmas. Oh my God. That's the biggest donation I've ever gotten. What is wrong with you? Thank you so much. All right. Kickstarter says, Kickstarter. It is a Kickstarter. That's for sure. Kickstarter says, thank you so much for all the content and valuable information you produce. Sir, look forward to sharing a beer with you one day. My Colombian adventure awaits in 2024. Best wishes. Let's go. I will be here 2024. I'm going to Carnaval de Barranquilla. So, guys, if anybody wants to go to Carnaval de Barranquilla, it's like 60 of us going. It's usually 60 people that go. And a lot of them I don't know. Like half of them I don't know because they're the friends of friends in Barranquilla, of like my friends in Barranquilla. My brother lives in Barranquilla now. And then us from Medellin and around the world, friends come and we go to El Carnaval de Barranquilla, which is February 10th to February 14th, I believe. It's like a 4-day, Thursday to Sunday. I'm going to be there for a couple weeks because I'm going to be looking for an apartment out there. I'm apartment hunting, but I haven't pulled the trigger yet, but I'm going to be there. So if you guys want to go, hit me up. We'll go. Thank you so much, Kick. You are amazing. I always used to watch the podcast. Oh, that's right. Chris Grant from the Colombia podcast. That's right. I've been on your Twitch. You've been on my Twitch too? Holy cow. Watching me play Fortnite, being a bot. 69 Way Better says, that's awesome. Way to go, Kickstarter. Yeah, W Kickstarter. Thank you guys. Everybody that donated. Again, 100% of the proceeds go to Help Colombia Now, which is a nonprofit organization that I help establish with my friends and my business partner here to help the kids out here all year. We do English classes on Saturday. So if you guys want to come down and volunteer, we do English classes in the neighborhood of Moravia every Saturday morning from 11 to 3 p.m. There are 3 different classes. There's 40 children that go to that. It's grown. We started with 10 kids like a year and a half ago or 2 years ago. Now it's at 40. Hopefully next year we'll be at 60. And my goal is to actually have night classes for the adults and young adults during the week. So that's another lifestyle design thing that I'm working on here. But yeah, all of this will go towards that. I appreciate that. Jay says, my Spanish skills increased like crazy in a month in Colombia. Not being able to speak English anywhere forces you to learn fast. Exactly. Even if you live in El Poblado, you are going to be forced to speak in Spanish because every restaurant, every bar, even the bar that I go to, which is kind of a gringo bar per se, none of the waitresses speak English. I think one speaks some English, Belen. She's very beautiful. But she barely speaks English. She can communicate, but everyone else, you got to speak in Spanish or bring your little translator. I've seen guys do that too. Carolina Restrepo, great video, by the way. You have an amazing voice de locutor. That's what the doctor told me when I was born. You got a face for radio. Yeah. So, okay. So we're talking about lifestyle design. I'll recap because we've gone through the whole thing. So this is the lifestyle design cycle that I go through with every project or everything that I'm doing in my life. I go from stage 0, which is having an aha moment or a moment of an epiphany or a moment of like, fuck this. I want to change. I need to change. That's stage 0. Stage number 1 is the stage where you start to define what it is that you want from that aha moment. Like, oh, I need to change this, or, oh, I need to move to Medellin. Then you have to start defining what it is that you want out of Medellin to figure out if Medellin will offer that for you, because Medellin is great for a lot of people, but it's not great for a lot of other people as well. Some people would rather live in Thailand. Some people would rather live in Scottsdale, Arizona after coming here and trying it out. But you can shortcut all that stuff if you go through this cycle, going through the aha moment in stage 0, stage 1, defining what it is that you want out of Medellin and how your life would be like if it were truly happy in Medellin. And stage 2 is where you start exploring, start making those plans and start making the connections with the locals here. Even while you're in your own country, you could start doing that because we live in an age of information, a digital world. You can easily start making contacts here before you even get here. And then stage 3 is where you actually make that jump, take action. You make the decision and you take action. That's stage 3. And then stage 4 is once you're down here, you start reflecting, taking inventory on all the things that you have and the life that you've built here, and see if you have any other aha moments where you have to start the cycle all over again. And this is a constant cycle that I go through in life. I'll tell you a little bit about my cycle right now in life, is that I've been living here for 13 years now, and I developed an online business, which is a digital marketing company that caters to companies in the United States. And now I have some Airbnb properties that I've bought, and I've got them on Airbnb, and that's another stream of income. And what really fulfills me, though, is that I know that's very fulfilling for me is teaching, and educating and learning at the same time. So that's why Help Colombia was created, to teach English to kids in low-income neighborhoods and help their families. And on top of that, we're working together with Recode Colombia, which helps those same young adults in those neighborhoods by teaching them how to program to change their life. Because I think that you can give people everything in the world, but if you don't actually teach them something that's marketable, that can change their life economically and spiritually, it doesn't matter. I don't like to just give things to people, right? We give these kids, these students, shoes, but what we're giving them are English classes that are going to change their life forever, hopefully. But we will give them gifts and stuff because they're kids. Every kid deserves stuff for Christmas. But the fact of the matter is that I want to deeply impact someone. So I go through this lifestyle design cycle by not only being able to design my work week around being able to do whatever the hell I want to make myself happy. If I want to start another foundation or another charity, I have the time to do that. If I want to join forces with another person, I have the time to do that because I've designed my lifestyle to be flexible in that regard. Chris Gant says, Way Better says, Daniel, sorry. Daniel says, I'm like 20 minutes away from Scottsdale, Arizona. Daniel, yeah, some people I have a friend that has a house in Scottsdale and loves it there. George says, do you think 50K might be enough capital to make the move going to Colombia? You have $50,000? Yeah, that's more than enough, bro. You could do it on 10,000. You could do it you could do it on 0 like I did when I got deported and still live and still make a great life happen. But with 50K, holy cow, you've got enough to see. The thing is that if you have a safety net like that, are you the type of person that's just going to lay back and be like, oh, I've got 50K, I'm good, I'll just live on that? Or are you the type of person that I've got 50K, but I live like I have 0? Because that's the type of person I am. I live like like my monthly budget is literally like I have in my video where I break down my monthly budget, $2,250 a month. That's my budget. I live on that. Like that's what I live on. Even though I make more than that, that's my budget, and I live my life like that. I don't even have an iWatch or anything. I have an iPhone because I do videos on it and I needed it. But other than that, before that, I had a Samsung. So that's the type of person I am. Not because I am, what do you call it? Not because I'm a penny pincher. Not because I am cheap, or like they say here, codo. I'm not codo. I'm actually very, very, very generous with my friends and people around me. But with myself, I want to plan not only for myself, but for my parents. I'm helping them through their retirement. My brother works with me in my company. I've got 8 employees and other independent contractors and a whole slew of people that depend on me. So I can't live like on a $10,000 budget. I have people that I need to take care of, and that's always on my mind. So I live like I've got $2,250 per month, every month. CBL Daddy says, George, you still need a job making $15,000 to $2,000 a month. I mean, if you did have a job and you had that $50K, bro, you put that in like an ETF or something, make some like 6% on it or whatever, or put it in the S&P 500. Can a U.S. gringo drive an Uber taxi for extra cash? Yeah, I have a couple friends that do that. Absolutely, you can. Yeah, I have a couple friends that are foreigners that they do that on their time off. One particularly is really funny because he's an older guy and he lives off his pension, and he has a pretty darn good pension. I think it's like over $5,000 a month. He's an early retiree, so he's not over 65. He's under 65. He's like 55. But he says like he loves driving the Uber because he meets so many people and he gets to have conversations and practices Spanish, and he knows the whole city by the back, like the back of his hand. So I asked him like, how'd you start that? And he said, well, I only started doing rides in his neighborhood, like in El Poblado, because he knew it, right? And then he started, once he would get like a ride to like Laureles, then he took that person, and then he started to explore the city a little bit more, and now he feels safe. He knows where to go now. He's like, oh, I'm not going to take a ride all the way up to Los Altos de Manrique or something like that, or San Javier at night. But, in Laureles, like he knows where to move now, and he would have never known that if he hadn't done that, which is pretty awesome. Keith Richards is here from the Rolling Stones. Can a U.S. gringo drive an Uber? Oh, that's you, Keith Richards. Yeah, especially if Keith Richards singing in a car. Let's go. And Jay Nib says, how much of learning SEO involves programming? Bro, I'm not a programmer. Let's see. How much does it involve programming? I mean, really none. If you just learn. Okay, so by the way, there's a free course that you could take, and I have all my people that I train under me take it. It's free. Neil Patel does a beginner's course, and it's free. It's on YouTube, and it's on his website, Neil Patel, SEO for Beginners. And you'll learn everything that you need to do in order to do SEO there and start a business, literally. Like, that's how I learned. That's how I started my business, taking online courses for free on YouTube and stuff. So you don't need to be a programmer to know SEO. You just need to know enough to be dangerous, I think. Like, enough to be dangerous. Buddha says, I drove a cab in the U.S. and it was wild. Great way to learn the city and meet a ton of people. Yeah, it's true. You meet a lot of people doing that. So, yeah. So that's the point of the lifestyle design here in Colombia, and designing your dream life. And really, your dream life, that's subjective because everybody has different aspirations. Everyone has different dreams. But the whole point is to have a dream, make it a plan, and start discovering if Colombia is the place for you. And if you've already been here and you already had that aha moment, like, I can make it happen over there, then you have to start putting into action. Start making connections down here. Either take the Medellin Masterclass, go to the MedellinMasterclass.com, take our course, or start taking, there's a couple other courses out there. Do something. The whole point is to take action, get the gears in motion. I can guarantee that you're not going to find a better teacher than me and AK for moving to Medellin, apart from maybe someone personally that but someone that's made this their business, you will never find somebody that's better than us so far. There might be in the future, but I don't know about now. I know about now. I know a barrio chick in Manrique, and funny enough, we had to stop by her house to pick up her ID to get to my condo. My safety was pretty much in her hands. That's true. Yeah, that's true. I've been up there. Nader, what's up? Nader says, greetings from Orange County. What's up? OC in the house. That's where I grew up. 26 years in the OC. I'll be in Medellin on the in January. And on the 4th of January. Would love to grab lunch and possibly do business. What kind of business, Nader? Jay, what's up, Jay? Jay says, can you help with moving and setting up in another city? Yeah, go to the MedellinMasterclass.com. You can check out the Medellin Masterclass Elite version. We could definitely help with that. But literally just the Medellin Masterclass alone will help you get all of that going. If you want to do it yourself, for example, find the mover, do all that. All of the Medellin Masterclass helps with that. And then if you want it done for you because you maybe own a business or you're just busy and you have the budget for the Medellin Masterclass Elite, our team will do it for you. And that's it. You live 1 hour south of OC? Dang. Nader, you were in a small hotel? Oh, you want to buy a small hotel? Dang. Okay, let's talk. How expensive is a language visa and how long is it valid? Are the 6-month tourist visa counted separately from the language visa? I don't know the exacts on that. I think AK will know more because he did it. But it is 6 months usually, the student visa. It's called the student visa. And you could study anything, not just language. But yeah, most people study Spanish, do 6 months student visa, and it counts towards getting a permanent resident visa or a longer term visa or permanent residency. So it counts towards that. That's as far as I know. But yeah, you can also contact the lawyers at Nexo Legal. Those are the ones that we work with at the Medellin Masterclass. They speak English and they can really break that down for you. You'll send me a message on Instagram. All right. Sounds good. All right, guys. I think that's it. I went through the whole content to make the video for lifestyle design here in Medellin, Colombia. And I think that's it. Let's see, it's 7:32. Yeah, that's basically an hour and a half. That's how long I've been going on these lives. I'm going to finish my beer and go down to the bar and watch the UFC fight with a friend. Bogart says the student visa is a year. Okay, it's a year, yeah. Talk to a lawyer. Steve Bradley says, I was born in Orange County. What? You were born in Orange County? I did not know that. You live in Virginia now. Maybe you did mention that. I just don't remember. All right, guys. Well, thank you guys so much for joining. I'll be live again next Saturday at 6 p.m. every Saturday, talking about a different topic about moving to Medellin, living in Medellin, making your dream life come true, hopefully. Thank you guys so much for the donations today. All of the donations from here on out until December will go towards helpcolombianow.com for their Christmas. I really appreciate it. If you guys want to check out these shirts, and you're not in Medellin, check out my shop on YouTube. If you're in the United States, you can order them. Thank you for the people that have bought those shirts already. Again, proceeds for that will go to Help Colombia Now. They say Medellin on them or ¿Qué más pues? And you could get those. Thank you guys so much. Hello from West Palm Beach. Monica Thompson, what's up? West Palm in the house. You came right at the end, Monica. Sorry. But you can rewind and watch this. This lives on the internet. Cuídate, hermana. Suerte y gracias. Thank you guys again. Saludos a todos, buenas noches, nos vemos el próximo sábado.